Hey, how's it going? I wanted to do a new video today. I'm going to try to upload them every Tuesday is what it's looking like so far. And I have an idea for Friday videos. So, that may pop up anytime. I'm not sure when I'm going to start doing those. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to touch on supplies one more time. I felt like there was room to add to it, and again, I mean, this will touch on some things that I could literally do probably like 3 to 5 more videos easily on. But these are some additional things that you'll probably eventually accumulate if you draw long enough. And some of the stuff is really good to have, and there are other options. Like if you saw the other tools and went like, that's not really the direction I'm heading, this might give you some ideas to add to your own arsenal. And personalize it to you, which is really the key anyway. Alright, so French curves, we'll touch on those first. The main one that I use, if I'm going to use one, is this. It's the big one. There are 3-packs, so you get kind of like a larger one, you get this size, and then a small one. Honestly, I mean, I use the big one, and really, I mean, I have so many of the small one that I've never even touched or rarely use. What I find too with French curves is I don't use them on my own work. I'll freehand just about anything, and the only time I really use a French curve is if I'm inking someone else and they've done something that's very mechanical. And I mean, I do a lot of technical stuff in my own work, but I don't know, it's very weird, but I find that I use them on other people more than me. And then next would be these things, and kind of the same thing. I'm going to show you the main ones that if you are like, man, I need templates, I can't draw circles on my own. I'm going to show you the main ones that you definitely want to get, and then you can always add to that later. But I would definitely get this one. So this is the small circles, and it's called Picket Small Ellipse number 12631. This is a really good one to have. It has actually, like, the top one is a regular circle, and then it, I guess the degree changes, but this is a really good one. I didn't have it when I first started inking. This was something I got a few years into my career, but they're pretty cool to have. I really don't use it very much, honestly, anymore, but I would definitely say that if you're like in the first 5 years of like drawing or inking, you probably would want to get that for sure. This one, everybody has to have this. This is it goes 3 inches to like super tiny, like, so this is good. And again, this would be something that I probably would use more on someone else than on my own work. But like, if you can't draw circles well, I would definitely grab this, and especially for inking. I mean, if you notice the little dots that you see kind of like around all the circles, those are like little lifted edges that will help you be able to ink with it and not smear when you lift it. But you still have to be careful. If you run the little stands through the ink, it'll smear it too. Okay, so the next one that I would suggest is this one. This is good. These are, they call it the Combo Ellipse Master inking template. I don't know about master, but anyway, but it has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, six different sizes, it looks like. Maybe it's less. But it's a Picket number 1269I. This one's cool because if you have any kind of weird tech or something like that, I mean, you can usually find what you need in here, and then I would add to that. You should probably get this one, which is, they're different degrees of them. So this is a 50 degree, a 40 degree, a 30 degree, and a 20 degree. This will come in handy kind of in addition to that other one, because this has like in between sizes. And then the only other one that I would say is like a must-have is, I mean, I would get this. What's funny about this one is it actually has a couple redundant circles from the smaller one, but there's like this one size on this one, and I'm gonna guess that it's the 2.5 inch or maybe 2 3/4, But like, man, it is so funny. Like pencilers, and again, I'm referring to like when I would work with someone else. They always go for this one size circle. It's very funny, but it's not on the other template, and it is on this one. And so this one comes in handy literally for like one circle. It's very, very weird, but I mean, I would say 95% of the time, if I'm using this, it's for that one size circle. And you know, it's good to have a CD in your office because that's a pretty nice size for like 11 by 17 board. And then these are just other ones that this one's kind of interesting because it has these weird like sort of I don't know, half moon or crescent moon sort of shaped ones, which are like a small size and a big size half, and you can match them up and still get your ellipse. So they actually kind of save room on the template, and these are, I think, different sizes that weren't on the other one. And again, I almost never use these anymore. Since I've been drawing, all that stuff kind of went out the window. I don't really need it. Old brushes. All right. So this is probably, oh my god, I don't even know. I would guess I don't use this many brushes. I only use one at a time. My guess is probably most of these were bad brushes. Just looking at them, I see one in there that's darker than the rest. But most of these look like that they were probably new brushes that just never really got it going on. But they're worth keeping. I think when you're starting out, one, you'll butcher brushes. I mean, you'll go through like one a month, where I can use one now for probably like a year or two. Maybe even longer, I don't even know. You know, and again, it's the brush itself. I mean, it's not just not me, but I mean, there are definitely brushes that will go and go and go. And I try to take good care of them, but I'm definitely not like completely like psycho about cleaning them. And I mean, I do keep them clean. I never let them dry with like ink on them. But so these are handy. You know, like now that I'm drawing more and I'm kind of maybe experimenting more, you know, maybe like dry brush, like one of these brushes would be great for like a dry brush effect or something like that. You never know. So I keep them around, but you know, this is probably, geez, I don't know, $250, $300 worth of brushes, and I'm gonna guess 80% of them probably sucked, which is a shame, but you know, that's the way it goes. Okay, and here's the Kuretake box. I thought I would just show it. I talked about the brush pen in the last video. And this is what it came in. This thing is awesome. I mean, it really, really is a great, great tool. And it might be an option, you know, instead of getting a Raphael brush or Winsor Newton brush, is maybe try this first. It's a legit brush. It's made of nylon, not sable fur. But this thing is badass. And you know, I'm a big guitar fan, play guitar, I have quite a few. The Japanese, man, their attention to detail is off the charts, and that's why Japanese guitars are great. And I will say that Japanese art tools are great. So they have a very high standard, and they make really good stuff, and it lasts. So this is good. You know, if you're starting out, you get one of these, as long as you take care of it and don't, you know, smash the bristles and stuff like that. That might be a good option, and it'll cost about the same as a brush, but it might last longer. Alright, so inking compass. This would be for like really big circles, and when I say big, I mean I'm talking like, you know, bigger than a CD, probably about the size of a plate. I think I've used this thing 2 times ever, but you actually put ink right between those 2 little blades there. You have to be real careful, because if you shake it, it'll spill out, you know, and then you put it down and use like a regular compass. But yeah, I mean, you literally just take like an eyedropper and drop ink in between those 2 points. And you know, if you're real, I guess, anal or meticulous, I can freehand big circles pretty easily. Those are probably the easiest circles to do, because they are such a kind of slow curve. But if you can't, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they make the tools for. So there's the option of an inking compass. Okay, this is like a stay away from pen. Jim Lee loves these things. Okay, my biggest complaint about them is the white yellows, and it yellows really bad. So over time, you know, I've seen originals of guys that I've collaborated with that use these, and all of them, after 5 or 8 years, this white is just cheap. and it yellows. I think what it is it's not the color of paper, and so it may not even yellow. It just might like age a little bit, but then it doesn't match the paper white, so it stands out, and that may be it. But I mean, it's a very versatile tool, and you can squeeze it and kind of, you know, like if you put pressure on it, you can get more white paint to squeeze out. And you definitely couldn't do. I mean, Jim uses these things like magic. I mean, it's really impressive to see what he does with them actually. But my concern would just be for like long-term look of the originals is what I've noticed is that it does yellow, not on Jim's pieces, but on other guys that I've used. So again, but I think it's the paper and the white color of that paint don't gel after a period of time. All right, so Kopecks, everybody loves Kopecks. I treated myself to, this is an anniversary box. It's mixed up right now. They're actually all black bodied pens in here. But I bought that, and I have probably like 40 singles that I've slowly been picking up. You know, I use I think these are the the sketch markers. I like them because they have a brush tip and then they have a fine tip. They're really, really awesome. Very expensive though. If you're starting out and you're like, they have smaller sets that are like 6 pens, 8 pens, and they generally will be like, you know, a color family or sets of gray or like flesh tones. So just kind of have a focus of what you want to do. I mean, I would almost suggest starting with like the grays. If you could afford a set of cool grays and warm grays, that would be a good way to go. Neutrals are nice, but I mean, I would either go warm or cool. I pulled out some singles here. These are like flesh colored ones or different ones that I use for skin. There's like a pink grapefruit that I like. That's kind of a nice flesh color. Yeah, you know, just I mean, I bounced through probably about 12 different colors for skin tones, and I mean, I wouldn't consider myself very good with them. And then those are some of the grays. Okay, and so Prismacolors are another option. These are older ones, but what I wanted to show you on these is kind of what I had done to the pens. If you have Prismacolor pens, the one thing that they don't have is numbers on the cap. So what I did, and this was a suggestion, I think from Scott Robertson, who's like a pretty, well, not pretty, he's a badass designer and you know, artist and teacher. But yeah, so I wrote on all the sides of the pens the percentage of value, so that they don't all have it. I think that some of them are older pens, but the one bad thing with Prismacolor, before, they may have fixed this now, is their values aren't very correct on the pens. Unfortunately, like if you made a value table, you'll find that like as you get in the darker colors, like sometimes the 60 and 70% or whatever will be like almost the same exact color. And that's bad. I mean, especially if you're trying to blend colors. So you always want to test your pens and see what the value of gray is. Maybe even create a color chart for it. These are just a couple other, I guess these were penciling templates. I'm guessing someone, I don't remember buying these, so my guess is that someone at Wildstorm had left them, and I took them after a period of time. I mean, I inherited a few different people's desks and stuff as they left, and, you know, stuff was just abandoned, so I figured might as well, like, save them. Okay, so then Microns. Microns, as far as I know, I mean, they do come in different colors, but these are the sizes. So you have a 005, which is the thinnest. Can be a little confusing if you're at the store, you know. 005 is like real good for faces, like eyebrows, eyes, you know, little details if you're going to render. You can flick like pretty fine like brush lines with them. The one is a little bigger. If you're heavy-handed, the 005 will wear out fast. You'll smash it. You'll slowly just mush the tip. So you definitely want to be aware of that. You know, handle that one with more care. There's a 2, which is, I consider kind of like a rare size for them. For a long time, I didn't even know it existed. But yeah, there is a 2. Then there's the 3, 05, and then a 08. 08 is a nice thick pen. I use Microns for speed. If something needs to be done fast, they're great. You can grab them out, throw them on your desk, and you can ink something up real quicker than having to dip a pen or use a brush. And then this is a Copic Multiliner, which is a brush pen. These I wouldn't use as a brush, like in terms of like feathering and stuff like that. But they're good for filling in black. But yeah, I mean, you're not gonna do really any finessey work with these. But you know, if you have like a more gritty sort of tough style, maybe it would work for you. Another option of the Hunt 102 holder is there's different size pen holders that come with like fancy like cork and stuff. It's not a 102 tip in this right now, but you know, if the other one is too small or feels funky with you, I mean, you can definitely get different size pen holders. Just make sure that the pen tip will fit in and it's not too big or small. So these are new pens that I got, which are the Copic Multiliner. It says water and Copic proof pigment ink. They're refillable. These are really cool pens. Unfortunately, I didn't, when I bought them, I didn't know that you can't refill them like a tech pen. So I need to get the tool to refill them. I'm trying to remember if it needs a cartridge or not. I think, yeah, you know what? I think they're cartridges that you drop in, and that's what it was. Is I actually thought when it said refillable that they were actually like, and you would take like ink and kind of pour it into like an inkwell. I'd always keep Sharpies around, fine point. I'd have a thick black one, and then maybe a few different colored ones. I mean, it definitely comes in handy if you're you know, say you make a photocopy of like a piece you're working on as an inker, maybe specifically, you know, you can mark like little things that at the end you need to address. Like if you're spending 13 hours on a page, you might forget, oh, I need to fix that one eyelash after I erase the page. I wouldn't do corrections on your work until the very end after you've erased it, because throwing down white when you're working, you can do it, and I've done it. But you know, it gets dirty, and then you're either going to want to take like an X-Acto knife and scrape it off and then reapply it at the end, or just wait until the end. You know, have the patience to do that and just do it at the end when it's the right time. Then I wanted to show you this. I used Sculpey and just did like a little Batman head. The reason I did this is I have been drawing Batman a lot, and I just wanted to try different stuff, and this isn't like the way that I would draw Batman, and I did this with literally a pencil and Sculpey, so I just, you know, I didn't buy a bunch of like tools. I kind of did like the, what's it called, a Sorrow head, where like the sculpt on the other side is different, like different planes I suggested, but you know, it's just a thing that I can stick under a light and see like how his ears cast shadows over his head. So you know, try to think out of the box in terms of things that might help you draw or like create what you're doing. You know, you're an artist, be creative. It's really important to just, you know, don't just depend on other things that you've seen people do. Try to make up stuff on your own, but you can see how this could be pretty handy for, you know, like lighting. You can see like how the light like falls on the different things, and this is during daytime. I mean, at night, if I turn off all the lights in my office, I can get some really neat ideas for like lighting that looks pretty cool. So think out of the box, and I keep little toys around my office to inspire me. I like fun little cute stuff. So just little things, eye candy, you know, keep it fun. And these are just a couple of the gray Kopecks. And again, I would say if you're on a limited budget, just, you know, get cool gray or warm gray. I would almost suggest cool gray first and then warm gray. You could do a lot with the cool gray set. So this bag of stuff was just this is like my con pack, just to show you like kind of how crazy I am. And I know people have like really nice boxes and stuff that they take their stuff in, but I'll fill up probably like 5 different bags of supplies. So I'll have like my ink and stuff that like wet things will go in one bag, and then like my pens and dry stuff will go in here. And I try to think of like, all right, if I'm going to draw Batman, I'm going to need these 3 blues and a gray, and if someone asks for Deadpool, so I try to, you know, obviously cover the main bases of things that people generally will ask me for, and stuff that I've kind of come up on my own. I like to actually sketch sometimes with like the gold paint markers. So this video is getting pretty long. It's almost 20 minutes, but I figure, you know, these are good background noise for like when you're working. But yeah, so try stuff, be creative. That's what you're paid to do. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please subscribe to the channel, add a like, and I'll keep adding up new videos, and I have some really, really cool ideas for stuff that I'm going to do. Wait till we get into washes, and I'm drawing on the computer now in Manga Studio and Photoshop, so I mean, I'll be able to like record the screen. That I could do now. Would have no audio. And I don't have the time to really like do like a soundtrack to the thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll be able to show all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.